Four foods that unclog your arteries. Naturally, can what you put on your plate really change what's happening inside arteries that have been quietly collecting plaque for 30 years? You've probably been told that heart health means being on some extreme, joyless diet. But what if the answer isn't about deprivation? What if some of the best tools are already in your kitchen? Today, we're cutting through the noise. I'm going to show you four everyday food groups backed by solid science that can help you manage your arterial health by tackling the main culprit, so called bad cholesterol. But first, let's get one thing crystal clear. You see it all over the internet, but there is no single food that can magically unclog or scrub clean arteries with established plaque. That's a dangerous oversimplification. Atherosclerosis, or plaque buildup, is a complex chronic inflammatory process happening inside the artery walls. Think of the inside of your arteries as a smooth highway. Now, picture particles of LDL, or low density lipoprotein cholesterol, as little sticky cars. When you have too many of these LDL cars, they're more likely to get stuck on the road's surface, especially if it's already a bit damaged. That's how plaque starts. Over the years, more LDL, inflammatory cells, and other gunk can pile up. This can narrow the artery, or worse, the plaque can become unstable and rupture, causing a blood clot that leads to a heart attack or stroke. So, while we can't unclog this plaque with food, we can do something huge. We can slash the number of those sticky LDL cars on the highway. By lowering the LDL cholesterol in our blood, we slow the whole process down. We give our bodies less raw material to build new plaque, and we can help stabilize the plaque that's already there, making it less likely to cause a disaster. That's our goal. It's not about a magical reversal, but about powerful proactive management. And the science is clear. We can start this process today with our very next meal. So let's get into the four food groups scientifically recognized to help you do just that. The soluble fiber superstar, oats and barley. Let's start with one of the most humble yet mighty foods out there, oats. And that simple bowl of oatmeal is a cardiovascular champion, and it all comes down to a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Black beans, kidney beans, and navy beans are also packed with soluble fiber and plant protein. Lentils, quick to cook and very high in gut-friendly fiber and green peas. Easy vegetable addition with high amounts of soluble plant material. You can get the red lentils with the brown skin in Australia. They're very easy to make flat bread when soaked and ground to a fine paste. Now, when you hear fiber, you might just think of roughage, but soluble fiber is a different beast. When beta-glucan from oats or barley hits your digestive tract, it dissolves in water and forms a thick, goopy gel. You've seen this happen when you cook oatmeal. It gets all thick and creamy. That gel is where the magic happens. Here's the mechanism, and it's pretty slick. Your liver makes bile acids to help digest fats. After they do their job, most of this bile is usually reabsorbed and recycled. But the thick, sticky beta-glucan gel gets in the way. It traps these bile acids, preventing them from being reabsorbed. So, instead of being recycled, the trapped bile gets escorted out of your body. Now, your liver has a problem. It needs to make more bile. And the key ingredient for new bile is cholesterol. So, the liver starts pulling LDL cholesterol out of your bloodstream to make new bile acids. The result? Less LDL cholesterol floating around in your blood where it can cause trouble. It's a brilliant, natural process, all started by a bowl of oatmeal, oat bran, or other soluble fiber-rich foods. While we are in the middle of the video, if you think this video is useful, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. It is a simple help to encourage me to make more videos. And the science on this is rock solid. A huge body of research confirms this effect, so much so that health agencies around the world give it their stamp of approval. They typically recommend about 3 grams of beta-glucan per day for a cholesterol lowering effect, which has been shown to meaningfully reduce LDL cholesterol. The exact reduction varies from person to person, but the trend is consistent and significant. So, how do you get those 3 grams? It's pretty doable. A generous bowl of cooked oatmeal, about a cup and a half, can get you there, depending on the type of oats. 1 cup of cooked pearl barley is also a great contributor, containing a couple of grams. You can also add oat bran to smoothies and yogurt, or use barley in hearty soups and stews. When choosing oats, steel cut and rolled oats raise your blood sugar more slowly than instant oats, which is a nice bonus for your overall metabolic health. But for lowering cholesterol, any type will give you that beta glucan. The real key is making them a regular part of your routine. It's a simple, cheap, and science backed way to start taking control of your LDL. The plant powered protein: beans, lentils, and pulses. Next up is a food group that's possibly the most underrated, affordable, and versatile nutritional powerhouse on the planet: legumes. This means all kinds of beans, lentils, peas, and chickpeas. They've been staples for cultures worldwide for centuries, and now science is confirming just how good they are for your heart. The main weapon here, again, is that awesome soluble fiber. Just like oats, beans act like a sponge in your digestive system, binding to cholesterol rich bile and helping to show it the exit. This makes your liver pull more LDL cholesterol from your blood to make new bile, which helps lower your levels. But that's not their only trick. When you choose a black bean burger over a beef burger or a lentil soup over a creamy high fat one, you're making a brilliant swap. First, you're adding fiber and nutrients. Second, and just as important, you're that's displacing foods high in saturated fat. Saturated fat, found mostly in animal products like red meat and butter, is a major driver of high LDL cholesterol. By swapping in legumes, you get a powerful 1-2 punch. You add a food that helps guys lower cholesterol while taking out a food that raises it. This swap is a cornerstone of a heart healthy diet. Plus, most beans and lentils are digested slowly, preventing sharp blood sugar spikes. This can help improve your body's response to insulin and reduce inflammation, creating a less friendly environment for plaque to develop. Large studies show that people who eat legumes regularly have lower rates of cardiovascular disease, with some analyses suggesting a noteworthy reduction in risk. So, how do you get more of these in your life? Aiming for about 3/4 of a cup per day is a great goal. Add chickpeas to your salad, make a big batch of hummus for dipping veggies, or try swapping half the ground meat in chili with lentils. You'll barely taste the difference, but your arteries will thank you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: the musical side effects, right? The key is to start slow. Begin with a few tablespoons a day and increase gradually. Rinsing canned beans, well, also helps. Your gut will adapt, and it's a small price to pay for such a big health payoff. The healthy fat heroes: nuts. For a long time, nuts got a bad rap for being high in fat. We now know that the type of fat you eat is way more important than the amount, and nuts are true heroes when it comes to managing cholesterol. The secret is their fatty acid profile. Nuts are packed with heart healthy, unsaturated fats and low in the saturated fats that can raise LDL. When you substitute these healthy fats for saturated ones, like snacking on almonds instead of cheese and crackers, you can seriously improve your cholesterol numbers. Here's how it works: eating more unsaturated fats helps your liver get better at clearing LDL from the blood. It's like upgrading the docking stations on your liver cells that pull LDL particles out of circulation. So, by sprinkling walnuts on your salad instead of bacon, you're actively helping your body's cholesterol handling machinery work more efficiently. While the healthy fats are the star, nuts also have a great supporting cast of fiber and plant sterols that add to the cholesterol lowering effect. Different nuts have different strengths. Walnuts, for example, are a rare plant source of omega 3s, which are famous for their anti inflammatory powers. Almonds are another fantastic choice, loaded with monounsaturated fats. Major reviews of clinical trials show that daily nut consumption consistently lowers LDL cholesterol, often by around 5 to 10% on average, depending on the nut, the dose, and what it replaced in the diet. The key with nuts is not to go, well, us nuts. Because they're calorie dense, a small handful, about an ounce a day, is all you need. That's about 23 almonds or 14 walnut halves. Stick to raw or dry roasted, unsalted nuts to avoid the extra sodium and unhealthy oils. They make a perfect snack and are a delicious, easy way to support your arteries. The cholesterol blockers, foods with added plant sterols and nails and stanols. Our last category is a little different. While the others are whole foods, this group includes foods specially fortified with compounds called plant sterols and stanols. This is a more engineered approach, but it's one of the most effective dietary strategies for lowering LDL. Plant sterols and stanols are found naturally in small amounts in plants. Their secret weapon then is that their molecular structure looks almost identical to cholesterol. Think of your intestine as a nightclub with a limited number of VIP entrances. Cholesterol needs to get through these entrances to be absorbed into your blood. Plant sterols and stanols act like bouncers at the door. Because they look so much like cholesterol, they compete for the same entrances and physically block a portion of the real cholesterol from entering. The cholesterol that gets bounced is just carried out as waste. The effect is potent. Scientific consensus shows that getting about 2 grams of plant sterols or stanols a day can lower LDL cholesterol by about 7% to 12.5%. This effect adds on top of other dietary changes and even works alongside cholesterol lowering medications like statins and medicines that limit the amount of cholesterol your body absorbs from food. The most frequently used drug in this class is ezetimibe or Zetia. I use both a statin and ezetimibe. Next are the PCSK9 inhibitors. These are highly effective treatments that help the liver clear more bad LDL cholesterol from the blood. Examples include evolocumab or Repatha and alirocumab or Praluent, which are usually given as routine injections, as well as oral tablets like enlicitide or Lipfendra. Now, let's be realistic. While a 10% reduction is significant, this is an adjunct to, not a replacement for, prescribed medication. If your doctor recommends a statin or other medication, it's for a good reason. However, using these foods can be a powerful part of your overall plan. Getting that 2-gram dose from regular food is nearly impossible. That's where fortified foods come in. You can find this amount in specially marked products like certain margarines, yogurt drinks, and even some milks. To get the best effect, have them with a meal. One small caveat: they can slightly reduce your body's absorption of compounds like carotenoids, but this is easily offset by eating plenty of colorful fruits and veggies. Also, they're not recommended for pregnant women or people with certain rare genetic conditions. Few natural foods contain low levels of phytosterols, meaning you would have to eat very large portions to hit therapeutic levels. Vegetable oils: corn, canola, sunflower, and olive oil. Grains: wheat germ, corn, rye, oats, and barley. Nuts and seeds: pistachios, almonds, macadamias, and flax seeds. Fruits and vegetables: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, bananas, and blueberries. Look for products that clearly state on the label that they contain plant sterols or stanols. They offer a convenient science backed way to directly block cholesterol absorption. So, there you have it. Four powerful food groups to help you take charge of your cholesterol and your arterial health. We've talked about the soluble fiber in oats and barley, the 1-2 punch of beans and legumes, the healthy fats in nuts, and the direct blocking action of plant sterols and stanols. But the real magic happens when these foods are part of a bigger picture. The biggest wins come when you use these foods to replace foods high in saturated and trans fats. Think processed snacks, fatty meats, and commercial baked goods. It's not just about adding oatmeal, it's about having oatmeal instead of a sugary donut. Making these changes isn't about a miserable short term diet. It's about building smart, sustainable habits for the long haul. It's about knowing that simple, delicious foods, can have a profound impact on your health. Of course, always talk these things over with your doctor or a registered dietitian, especially if you have high cholesterol or a family history of heart disease. They can help you build a plan that's right for you, but you can start today. With every meal, you have the power to make a choice that supports your health for years to come. If you found this breakdown helpful and want more evidence based tips for better health, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these four food groups is already your go to, and which one are you excited to try more of? Your story could inspire someone else. For a deeper dive into how your metabolism affects your heart, check out this next video. Thanks for watching, and here's to your health. If you think this video is useful, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. It is a simple help to encourage me to make more videos. Tell me in your comments, what foods out of the list are your favorites? Thanks.